Hey everyone, Chris August here. I wanted to share with you the story behind my song Nothing's Beyond Broken. Funny enough, it actually ties into an older song of mine called 7 times 70, which I come from a broken home, broken family kind of situation. And when writing 7 times 70, I actually started out just writing about what hurt me as a kid. And God started teaching me about forgiveness and the healing that comes with it. So later when I released the song, which, by the way, is kind of awkward. It's awkward when you release a song that is very personal and about your family and they don't know about it. But nonetheless, when I released the song, my dad texted me and said, "I'm sorry for my failures and mistakes, but God has the ability to take something that's broken and make it better than it was." And I was blown away at that. I thought it was amazing. And as amazing as I thought it was, I don't think in that season that I was in, I even really fully understood the depth of what that really means. But as time went on and the years went by, I was seeing God healing hurts that I thought was impossible, untouchable, thinking no chance. You see, in my family, once my parents split up and all that happened, we couldn't all be in the same room together. It was impossible. It was not a chance. It wasn't ever going to happen. Years and years and years went by. Never. And I used to joke with my mom, because I always just wished we could have dinner together. It's like, because when you come from that kind of broken home thing, Thanksgiving rolls around and then you gotta go have Thanksgiving here and then Thanksgiving here, which that's a lot of turkey for one man to eat. And so you can imagine. It's just, obviously it's a hard thing to do. And so years later, after I write this song, I'm living in Nashville. I'm originally from Dallas. And so when I go home, visit Dallas, I got to kind of go all over the place. And so I used to joke with my mom. I used to just say, I wish we could just eat dinner together. Come on, it's not that big of a deal. Obviously knowing it was a big deal, just joking around with her a little bit. Well, about 2 years after I wrote 7 times 70, my mom gave her life to the Lord. And she herself was learning some things or two about forgiveness along with me. And so I go home a couple years back and I'm going to my mom's house, same old deal, order some pizza, got to get that pepperoni in. And so I'm hanging over there with my brother and my sister and sitting on the couch and the doorbell rings. I'm like, I'll get it. I'll always get up to get that pizza, better believe it. So I go and I open up the door and the pizza guy's like all up in the door, and I was like, what was happening? Like, this pizza dude's trying to come in. And I look up and it was my dad. And I was like, Dad, when'd you start working for Pizza Hut? Like, this is crazy. And I looked down and he had a bag of barbecue, and I was like, what's happening right now? And I look over at my brother and my sister, my eyes are just wide. I'm like, do y'all know about this? And they're like, they had the same eyes as me. They're like, nope, what's going on? And my mom had invited my dad. She reached out to my dad knowing I was coming in town and asked if he would want to have dinner. My dad said, of course. And so he brought over barbecue and we ate an awesome meal together. And see, I only have one picture of me and my family when I was younger. I was about 5 years old. And so when we got that dinner, you better believe, I said, we got to get a picture, y'all. And so after we ate, we all got a picture together. And so when I flew back home to Nashville a couple days later, I literally went straight to Walgreens, printed out that picture, and I was thinking, I need a frame for it. So I go straight to Target, and I go home after that. I get the frame out, and I set it next to my older picture I had. And I have these pictures right here. Here's the older one. This was printed literally when I was about 5 years old, and water spots on the back and whatnot. And here's my newer one. I should have probably printed them the same size, but I love looking at these pictures because that's God's grace right there. He can take something that's broken and make it better than you ever thought it could be. In 1 John, it talks about how God will destroy the works of the devil. Another translation says he'll undo the works of the devil. The whole point of God undoing the works of the devil is to change us from a sinner to a saint. That's where the real healing is. And that's where the real brokenness begins. It says, we're born into depravity. I love in the Bible, it also says, in the midst of our sin, Christ died for us. That's his grace, that's his character. Nothing's beyond broken.